Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of To Be Determined. This is a podcast. Hopefully, we'll make it longer this time so that it's actually a podcast and not some off brand, off the wall YouTube show that's on YouTube. So, you got me. Okay, fine, you got me. Man, I probably should have worn white today. Looking like a tall glass of milk. Not a fan. Okay, we're back to the most reliable news source on the planet. Only the finest content here. The Onion. We love the Onion. Very spicy. So, this first story is on how virtual reality works. So they're giving us a step-by-step guide of how the technology really works. And honestly, this is gospel. Everything that we're going to be going through on here is going to be complete facts, and just don't even doubt it, bro. Okay. Step one. Humans spend millions of years evolving spatial awareness and depth perception to stare at a couple of brightly colored polygons. Um, yeah, it's got two lenses inside the VR. They are not sure if they're polygons, but it's kind of weird because yes, we do like spin like we evolved into like being humans and we can explore our environment and whatnot. But yet we want to go into a virtual reality that's as close to reality as possible. But we do that instead of actually going into, reality or what we think is reality. Ooh. Um, but that being said, I get it. I get it. I prefer true and real experiences as well. I do have a VR headset though, which is super nice. It's super sweet. I can hang out with the boys. We can play mini golf. We can fight zombies. We can do all the things that we wouldn't normally be able to do in real life, especially because we all live so far away from each other. You gotta get the crew together. You gotta sit down and smoke a cigar and you know just vibe. It's great. It's a great thing to happen. So this is starting off pretty normal and regular. So we move on to step two. Step two, infinite wonder of material world deemed too boring. They forgot a comma there, so it threw me off. So yeah, I guess our world's a little boring. I guess it could be boring. Only if you make it boring. I keep myself occupied by just always changing hobbies. So you can even look at my closet and see all the clothes I have. I have motorcycle clothes. I got um, rock climbing gear. I have stuff to play sports and fighting and gloves and fake knives and bow and arrows and muskets and I got all kinds of stuff. So you just gotta spice it up. You gotta add some paprika. You can't be too scared to throw some of that southern spice in there. Um, but yeah, but in the VR you can import literally anything you want. I'm sure there's even like a workshops and there's I guess you can call them sandboxes that allow you to just make whatever you want to create whatever you like. I know it could be a cool thing, but people be creating some crazy stuff. Like, I don't really know what extent and how much work goes into creating something in virtual reality. But I'm assuming people are making some pretty wild things. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful because you can. It's a virtual reality. It's a video game. So like a Grand Theft Auto situation, right? You could literally rob banks, steal cars, Grand Theft Auto, um, kill hookers, and smash them into pieces again, right? You can do all kinds of stuff, but things get a little dicey in virtual reality when you're also dealing with real people as well. So, say you're in multiplayer and you try to do all the same things, right? Can I rob somebody in a virtual reality? Yeah, could I? Would the game, say there's a function where you could steal from somebody and get someone's virtual reality thing? Well, okay, yeah, that kind of sucks, but it's part of the game, right? But what if you spent money on that in-game item that you had, and someone comes robs you? Could that be like, could you get, you know, punished for it in the game? Could you get punished for that in real life? I don't know. Say they bring in those suits where you can feel everything, and someone comes and kicks you in the balls. Could you file for assault? in real life? Would you get assault in the game? It's a lot of kookiness that can go on in there. So it's like, what becomes real? It's that's wild. It's super crazy. And then even like relationships, like say you're dating someone, but they're underage. Ooh, but and their avatar's not underage, but there's probably an underage person inside that VR. You having an emotional relationship with that person, could it get sexual? Ooh, not even gonna go there. But it's just anything can happen because it's virtual reality. So there actually have been cases, not even cases, but like people online saying that they were assaulted in VR, like Horizons, which is like the Facebook VR game room or something like that. And either someone like grabbed them or they were whistling at them. I don't know what the situation was, but they're like they felt like sexually assaulted, basically. Can you? Were you though? Were you though? Not sure what the answer is there, but I'm gonna move on. I didn't bring a shovel today, so there's no digging out of anything. Let me see here. Step three: brainstorming season for visually astonishing, immersive environments like conference rooms and restaurants. I'm gonna drink my dumb bitch water right here. Hold up. Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, you can build any kind of environment you want in VR. Those are, I mean, it's pretty awesome. You can create a restaurant, a conference rooms. That's what these it's saying here. But I mean, that's kind of like those are really surface levels. You can probably build banks. You can build houses. You can get your whole Club Penguin server on here in virtual reality. I mean, do what you got to do. Oh, but it's interesting. There's like virtual like real estate that you can buy with real money. Some wild shit. Essentially, how it works is just like regular real estate. You find a plot of land in the metaverse, right? That is somewhat desirable, and you can pay real money via Bitcoin, right, or fiat, um, and you can buy like virtual land. And I'm like, well, why would I ever buy virtual land? Yeah, good question. But also, people buy in-game content all the time. Like people buy extra skins for their characters. People buy extra weapons. Different things. Like if you ever play an online video game, people are always throwing real money into there. But this is gonna get. This is a little extreme. You can spend thousands, even potentially millions of dollars on um, virtual equipment and wear. And one of those things is gonna be property, right? So like you have virtual land space and grids that you can own, so you can say, and like you have celebrities doing it. I know Snoop Dogg has a space, has a plot of land. I'm sure like my childhood crush is Shakira, so I could definitely build a plot of land next to her house, and I could pay money for it. And I could be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm chilling next to Shakira. I have her. I'm her neighbor, right? But that's something I'm paying for real money, and you have little grid squares, and I don't know. I'm speaking completely out of terms, but it seems like that would be something that's possible. Um, Other than that, um, you could probably even do sell land, right? If you can buy things for real money, you could probably also sell it. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm sure there's gonna be things like stock exchanges, everything that you would have in real life, you would probably be able to have in the metaverse and in virtual reality. You can just copy and paste your environment into it too. I'm sure get to a place where the outside cameras are completely rendering. Oh, anyways, I digress. But you can put real money into it, and you could probably sell it. You could flip it. You can make a profit. But also, how are you getting taxed on that? It's just a video game, right? And you're turning into Bitcoin after that. I don't know. Like the government, the Uncle Sam, the Popo, they're gonna start cracking down on that for sure. People start making profits, and they ain't getting their cut. They gotta get their cut. But dude, you can money launder. You don't have to, buy a washeria anymore. You could just go in the metaverse and you can just do it all virtually. Wild, absolutely wild, insanity. Step step four. Naive investors secured. Wasn't I just talking about this? Yeah, like I mentioned before, um, I'm guarantee you can invest in different things, but there's gonna be tons of people on there that have no idea what they're doing, and you can either you're investing in land or you're investing in their stock market or you're investing in a what do you call it? It's like a meme now. All the Brads are doing in the Chads. They want you to buy their NFT. Yeah. Um, I don't know too much about NFTs, but I'm also an expert in NFTs. And so what it is a picture that's on. It's a digital picture like a Mona Lisa or something like that. It doesn't matter what it is, but you would only have so many of them that exist, and then people can buy it and keep it as like a rarity because I'm the only one that owns this digital picture, this digital piece of art, whatever it is. So therefore, it is worth money and value. Things have value because people give it value. That's the only reason why Bitcoin even works is because everyone just says it has value. As soon as people just stop assuming it has value, it ain't gonna be worth shit. That just like even like gold, we all agree, yeah, gold's valuable. It's shiny, it's pretty. You bite it, goes through. You can bite through it like butter if it's real gold, um, and so it has value. And we just all agree. We all know. And then money is just the idea of trading value back and forth. So same thing for Bitcoin, same thing for NFTs. So you're definitely gonna have people getting scammed in the metaverse, also in virtual reality, because you are putting real money in there, and I guarantee you there's gonna be trading and bartering in and out. So and there's nothing to regulate any of that either. Step 5. Frame rate calibrated perfectly to induce nausea. These guys suck at spelling, by the way. I mean, I suck at reading, so I guess it works out. Um, yeah, you gotta get your sea legs. Like, you can definitely there's definitely a form of like you have to get used to the VR. You have to get your VR legs. You gotta use it. You have some good spatial awareness. But some games are harder to play than others because you can look down, you see your whole body, could make you motion sick. Um, I if you have bad allergies and your ears are clogged up, it can ruin your sense of balance, and you could also get sickness. Just uh, just keep a bucket with you, oh, separate from your shit bucket, and you get used to it. Not the puking, but you'll get used to not puking. Step 6. Haptic feedback sensors. Oh, haptic feedback sensor gloves. And they're saying it makes it seem like user. Oh, okay. So it's just giving me an example. Haptic feedback sensor gloves. You can make it seem like you're in an actual earthquake or you're touching water or a person or whatever. So in virtual world, I'm sure you're gonna be able to get some gloves, those little hand thingy things. Slip them on, you'll be able to feel everything that's happening in game. So I'm assuming they would use some sort of electric pulse or censoring. Could even be something like the glove putting pressure, like kind of like a massage, pad or machine at certain areas, depending on it. But that'll get kind of bulky, probably. I don't know. Um, so whatever your basically idea is, whatever you're touching in game, you can touch, and you'll feel it in real life, kind of like Ready Player One scenario, right? Like I said, would you want that? I don't know. I don't know if I want to burn my hand on a stove because I'm already clumsy in real life. I'm definitely gonna be clumsy in VR. And what if someone socks you in the jaw, right? I mean, of course, we wouldn't be wearing like the suits. You wouldn't feel that. But what if someone slaps your hand? That would, I don't know. That's not gonna hurt. But say they took a machete and whack. Step 7. Breast size of anime squirrel selected. So yeah, I'm guaranteed you'll be able to make any kind of crazy avatar you want. You can already do that in most VR games, and you can give yourself some big anime titties if you want. You can also give yourself big buff muscles. You can give yourself some anchor arms. Um, do whatever you want. You make yourself taller, shorter. It's all about perspective, and so the way other people see you. But great, hey, listen, it's a catfisher's wet dream. Um, Even more, nah, not even gonna go there. And so yeah, you can select whatever you want, and there's gonna be some pretty outrageous things. Like people are gonna be, mimicking your sister, right, and your mama. So and also you're connected to Facebook, so hackers can get into it and see all your shit. all your shit. Step 8. Step 8. Gotta learn how to pronunciate these. I'm telling you, man, these lips are getting in the way. I'm scrolling up. Random guy who will be there staring at you when you remove your headset silently enters the room and sits down. Ooh. So that comes with like spatial awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be in the VR, and you're not gonna know what's happening around you. Like I'm in this my little bubble here, right? I can still hear everything happening around me. But when you're in the VR, you got the headsets on, you got your gloves on. You can't see, you can't taste, you can't smell. You're not gonna know unless you smell them coming. Like you're gonna have zero idea anyone's in the room with you. So your friends, your homies, your cat, whatever, they're just gonna be in the room. So as soon as you take your headset off, they're like, "Yo, bro, we've been watching you the whole time." Like that's just even like that's why I don't use the VR headsets when I'm at like Dave and Buster's or Chuck E. Cheese. Right? You put them on, you wake up, right, and then everyone's staring at you like, "What's up? It's my wallet. Dude, I stole my wallet. Like, what's going on here?" But yeah, I mean, it comes with the territory. You just got to be alert and vigilant. Step 9: users face scanned without their knowledge, so Auntie Annie's can sell them pretzels on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, they already take our data without our knowledge, right? Like, I do text message from my homies. I say, "Yo, bro, I'm trying to buy some fireworks." Whatever fireworks or an ant farm or a pipe bomb, whatever it is. Then all of a sudden, Amazon or Google's going to be recommending those things for the next 12 hours. So that's a real thing. So who's like they're selling your data, they're selling your conversations. Who's to say they can't sell your face? Not everyone's faces though. There's some ugly people out there, but ugly and I'm proud gang. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, scan their face. I mean, your whole face is not quite in the VR just yet. I'm sure they'll have cameras where it reads your face. It can already read your environment. Like if a couch is sitting there, the couch will appear digitized inside the VR, right? Which is something that Facebook is working on. I know Zuck did an interview not too long ago with Joe Rogan, kind of explaining how that's going to work. And Zuck completely was just the one that was just like we was just like, yo, this is going to be possible. You're going to be able to import and render things into the real world. But he didn't go tap into how they're going to make money. They're not making money off the headsets or the VR sets. They're making money off of like the advertisement, and they're making money off of selling your data. They've always made money selling your data. So when the metaverse, they're gonna whack me for this, but when metaverse gets your information, is be able to scan your body and everything, I guarantee you they're gonna have all the rights to your likeness. So it's gonna be wild, and you're probably gonna need to consent to it anyways if you want your face to be scanned. But people are egotistical. They want to see their face in the game. They want to see their actual face on something else. Step 10. I think it's the last step. Apex of human technology results in installation of virtual billboard in living room. Oh yeah, yeah. So what? Like in any futuristic movie you've ever seen, you've always seen these giant flat screens that are like holograms, and they're everywhere, and it's showing someone drinking purple flurp, or some kind of futuristic food, and there's flying cars and everything. It's just these really shiny billboards just floating in your wall. But then like everything else is just like normal. Like you saw normal chairs, normal normal desk, normal toilets, all that stuff. And it just boils down to having just a really fancy billboard. Basically, in the future, we're gonna be able to find a way to just always sell you shit, always, because that's where it's leading to. That's where it's going. Woo, that was fun. VRs are fun. You should get a VR. Maybe we could start doing podcasts in the VR. But that'd be weird. People will be popping in and out. People will be throwing tomatoes at you. People will be leaving. You're just like, I don't know. That'd be kind of weird. I wouldn't want a live audience for a VR. Next story. Woo! All right. So, the headline is January 6th photo footage shows Nancy Pelosi threatening to give Trump bad stock tips. So if you don't know, Nancy Pelosi, she's the stock god. She is the feline of Wall Street. She has made more money than Warren Buffett. She has a higher, her and her husband have a higher win percentile. I say win as if it's gambling. It kind of is, kind of isn't. But she's making more money than everybody in the stocks. And I, I wonder, I wonder why. She's just a pro. Like she is a pro. There's no insider trading involved. She is pro 100%. She is not pushing through legislation and knows legislation regarding different companies that she's already invested in or planning investing in the future. That is not something that's happening. Absolutely, that it's not happening. Don't hurt me. Anyways, apparently, if Trump is go wants to go back in the race and run for presidency, then Nancy Pelosi is gonna, give her some advice, give him some advice. I don't know what he identifies as. A man, woman, a peach. Who knows? But the story is basically talking about how if he trespasses on Capitol grounds, she's gonna take him gently aside and give him the best tips on the planet that are not gonna be good tips at all. Very, very bad tips because obviously she knows what's going on. She's a pro investor, so of course she's gonna know which stocks are good and what stocks are bad. She's gonna intentionally feed him some pretty bad stuff. So more than likely, he'll be investing in Carl's Jr. or Arby's or Chuck E. Cheese or I don't know, Frijoles Castle. It's a fake bean restaurant I just made up. Either way, he's going broke. It's happening. It's going down. And you know what? She's kind of a sore loser because she wins all the time. She has all this money. I don't know what's wrong with spreading the love around and giving everyone a little bit of the cake. You know what I'm saying? What is your favorite random historical fact? Oh, all right. It is time. Welcome to the question of the day. It's not really the day. It's really of the week because this is only happening every blood moon, right? Every summer solstice, we're doing this podcast. So this is a little something we're throwing in. What is your favorite random historical fact? All right, this is interesting. In case you didn't know, again, totally unverifiable. I'm probably making all this up. However, in ancient Rome, they had toilets. They actually tried to make very good use of hygiene back in the day, like way back. So they had aqueducts, which essentially is like a little river that goes underneath everybody's that's going underneath the city, and it's uses as their waste and water measures to flush it out of the system and throw it into the lake, and the poor people can bathe in the dirty water, right? And so, but they would have these, which I'll put up on the screen somewhere. But they have these toilets where they're basically this it's a giant room, almost looks like a sauna, right? And they're on like the benches around the room. They're just all these little holes, and that you just sit on. They're just toilet seats, right? And you would just everyone would go in there. They would sit in the toilet seats. They would do their business. They'd be chilling. The water, the piss, the shit, everything would just drop into the aqueduct, and then the aqueduct would flush it downstream. And then all the poor people use that water for drinking and for bathing and everything else. So all the rich people were on top of the hill, and then all the poor people, the peasants, the oi polloi, they were down here. And so that was something that they did. It's a pretty interesting fact, but there was no toilet paper back then. So what did they use? Well, essentially what they did was they had um, they had sticks with sponges attached to the end of them, and they would shove it straight up their ass, and spinning around like a Q-tip, like you're cleaning your ears out, right? To clean out the asshole, the asshole. Anyways, they would use those to clean everything up and keep them from being itchy. I would imagine that the hemorrhoid department was on fire and the orgasm department was on fire because they're definitely hitting the gooch on that one. They are the G spot. It the whole thing is it's just spray and pray. And so, but even though they were very thoughtful and hygienic about, oh, we know we need to clean our butts and our asses, They didn't think to clean the sponges. So when the next person came to, take a shit, guess what they're using to wipe? The same exact sponge on the stick. Same exact thing. Brutal. And of course, there's rodents and there's rats and there's diseases and stuff. So really, all the rich people are running around with decaying butts, right? They're yeah, like pompous gluteus maximus is having some issues down there. That was really funny. Y'all, if y'all don't even know. But that's just something that they did, and of course the peasants just had to just, I don't know, they had rags. They, I don't know, wiped their asses with sheep. I don't quite know how they did it back then, but that is probably one of my favorite historical facts. Speaking of which, I do have another historical fact. Look, we go. So, basically, in the same scenario, right? Ancient Rome, or it could be ancient Greece at this particular instance. But either way, so you had the royals, right? The people that were in power, the government, right? The Caesars, everybody. Well, they wealth back then was determined by how fat you were, how fat you were. So all the big boys, all the what who all the Lizzos out there. They it was all the if you were fat and beautiful, that meant you were rich because you could afford food and substance, right? So so you're out here, you're eating your pig on a rotisserie, right? You're eating your grapes, you got your maiden eating feeding you grapes, and but now you're full, right? But all your friends are here and they're all looking and you're full and you're ready to keep, you're still ready to eat because it's a sign of status, right? So what they would do is that they would have a servant run over to them and take their two fingers here and shove it down their throat, and then they would puke inside a bag, and they would get cleaned up, whatever, and they would do it in front of everybody at the table. And they're like, wow, he can afford to puke it up and eat again. This guy's wealthy, this guy's rich. And they would just eat again, and they would just keep eating and keep eating. They're getting all these calories, they're getting fatter and fatter every day, and then they die of a heart attack. Pretty assuming so, right? Diabetes must have been off the chain. And so all these statues of all these Roman Caesars being super like thin and skinty, lies. All of them. Is no verdad. It's just lies. All of them. So that's something that's interesting and kind of wild. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching episode 2 of the To Be Determined podcast. And y'all be good.